Oh, hold on. Hold up. Wait a minute. I think we're recording now. Hi. Let's go ahead and take a sip of water here. Hold on. Not really. Sounds like you're in the hallway. Hot dog down the hallway. Might have to get that cool headset on again.
Pick up my soul breathing fucking thing. Today's
I'm gonna. I'm not gonna edit this at all. I'm just gonna put this all on there.
Okay.
Oh, and no, I'm not actually with the view of your space bar is riveting.
So I did it.
I might be getting a view of the nether regions too. It is. What's wrong with that? There's that's some
Is that better?
that's some clickbait right there.
Yeah. Yeah. Take a look at that. Ding dong.
Oh man. All right, so let's just jump right in. What do you want to talk about today? What do you think? I don't
Well,
know.
it's kind of cool that both of our teams are fuck
I
it.
don't know.
It's kind of cool that both of our teams are probably going to be the top two biggest targets on their back going into the season.
Well, listen, I think it's really cool that my team actually did something. They usually do make moves, but I mean this was a ridiculous move, obviously. But as you know, I'm not really sold on it. It's we're signing a 43-year-old dude. At the end of the day, I know he's the best to ever do it. I think he is, but I don't know if he's gonna continue to be, and it's just my damn luck that he would like fall on his face when he comes to my team. I don't know. It's like a too good to be true scenario, and they backed themselves into a corner so much that they have to win this year. They have to win the Super Bowl this year, and I'm not talking about go to the playoffs. They have to win the Super Bowl this year, or it's not worth it.
Yeah, I mean, he's going to have at least a couple years, right?
I don't even think. I mean, he signed for two, but
Oh, he only signed for two.
he signed for two. But the Super Bowl's in Tampa this year, so obviously that's huge.
That's huge.
Glazer said he wants to do everything he can in his power to win the Super Bowl in their stadium. So I mean, they're doing it. I mean, what else could
Yeah.
they have done? But they have to win it this year. I mean, because think about it realistically, the dude's going to be 43 this year, which props to him. TB 12 and all sorts of good. He looks like a
Stay in his
supermodel and
shape.
all that stuff. But dude, he's going to be 44 next year. Come on.
Yeah.
I don't see it. So it has to happen this year, and I don't know. I just don't feel comfortable saying that I believe him. You know how much I love the Bucks. I've always loved them.
Mhm.
We went to the opening game last year, and you guys, Jameis decided to play for your team for the last quarter. Um, and by the way, that was awful. That experience. I mean, I loved going there. It was a fun time.
Wow, there were too
But the
many Niner
game.
fans around you, bro.
No, the just that's how hot it was, dude.
Yeah, it
Oh my
sucked.
God, that was awful. It was the most uncomfortable.
Reminded me of two days back at Fisherman.
Yeah, it was not fun. But no, I don't know. I just don't think I don't see it. I don't see how they're gonna do it, and especially with the extra um, playoff team this year. I mean, yeah, I think they're gonna make the playoffs. There's no doubt. But again, if they don't win it this year, they're not gonna get a replacement for Brady in the draft next year because they're gonna be a playoff team. I believe they're gonna be at least a playoff team.
Yep.
They're not gonna get a quarterback in next year's draft at what in the 20s. It's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, they'll have to make a big trade or something up to the first round, probably most likely.
Unless
Be
they
in the
bring Jameis back, and I don't think that's happening either after he's
well, that
talked all
just
the smack.
that wouldn't make any sense at this point if you didn't bring him back now, in my opinion. You know,
So
I was really surprised when I had heard there was a possibility of him staying under Brady for 2 years. I know that's easy for a fan to say, like, oh, that would be such a good move. Jameis doesn't want to sit for 2 years,
no,
but fuck, man, it might have helped. That might have helped a lot. But
but
again, you
he's willing to
can't
sit
play
him
the
out.
dude 5 years. Was it 5 years he's been playing?
Yep.
It's tough to play a guy 5 years straight, and then with the exception of that, half a season or whatever it was that he played, Fitzy played over him. But that's kind of tough to ask a guy to sit for 2 years at the best if everything goes right for Brady.
Yeah.
But
Well,
I don't know. I think they could have. I know they're trying to make a splash, and they're trying to get in there and become relevant. So I kind of understand. It's got the fans pumped up, and it's got everybody, their interest peak. And too
they're
bad
gonna
they're
they're gonna make that money now.
well, they need to make as much as they can because who the hell knows when people are going to get in the stadium.
Yeah. Well, I mean, but
Wouldn't be
even
surprised.
yeah, they're gonna play. I'm optimistic that they're gonna play in front of people, but
Yeah.
they their attendance has not been great. The past few
No.
years it's been going down. Now Brady. I mean, the ticket sales. Granted, the news came before the whole Rona hit, but the ticket sales
Well,
skyrocketed.
season tickets are sold out. I
Yeah,
thought, right?
yeah,
Yeah.
craziness. So I don't know. I'm pumped. I got all
Yeah.
my bucks, my gear, and I actually have a picture of you drinking out of this.
Nice. They had 49ers and Chiefs Super Bowl on tonight on Fox. Like,
How was that for you?
it was so good that I didn't watch a single second of it.
Yeah, yeah.
I know better. I know better not to torture myself. It's one thing to
Uh,
do it for other games. I'm I typically watch each game at least twice over the season. So even the losses, but like a Super Bowl is just a little different. I did watch the Ravens Super Bowl that when they lost to the Ravens 5 years ago. I watched that probably 15 times, and that was rough. This one
did
I
you watch it
really
with
can't
the
watch.
with the blackout delay too?
Yeah, yeah. Luckily by then they found a way to skip past that 35-minute
Nice.
blackout. But
I still can't
yeah,
believe that happened.
this one is harder, way harder to watch because if when your boys have a 10-point lead and
7 minutes
seven
left.
7 minutes, that's just unacceptable. Especially when you're a good running team, it's unacceptable. If you were a fucking flash in the pan passing team, I get it. And you make a couple bad plays like the Falcons did against the Patriots that one year where they just passed too much. They are a passing team, so it was made a little more sense.
Mm.
Um, but yeah, man, you're a fucking hard nosed running team. Your quarterback doesn't even need to throw typically for you to win during that time. Like that's just unacceptable. There's a fucking million excuses. Um, that I've felt because I did watch the Super Bowl like three more times after the Super Bowl, like right after, like 2 or 3 days after, just because it was kind of driving me bad shit. But yeah, I don't think I'll ever watch that game again because that's just too rough to watch. And they made fucking Mahomes look like a goddamn superhero, and he's an awesome player. I'm a fan of him, but he had no business winning that shit. That was brutal.
I mean, he came back 3 different times in the postseason. You got to give him credit for that. I mean, that's sick.
No,
And
no, no.
I
Like again, I don't want to trash him at all. I love that guy. I think he's a great player. I like how he fucking puts himself out there, dude. He's a hardworking cat. He's humble.
Starks like this.
Yeah, I mean, if I could play football like that, I would talk like even worse than that.
Probably.
He's just, he's a good representative for the game. I'm a fan of him.
Mm.
Kind of reminds me of Steph Curry a little bit. He's got like the little bit of the swagger, but he's not really like over that big trust bullshit that like the guys on the Ravens do. Like I can't stand that shit. But getting fired up during the game and after you make a big play, like that doesn't bother me at all for the most part.
No.
So I'm a big fan of Mahomes. I wish he would have, I wish they would have played somebody else. Then I would have been cool with them. I would have not.
What if it would have been Tennessee? Like that would have been the most boring Super Bowl
Crazy, dude. That would have been literally like
I want.
75 running plays.
Yeah, it would have been. It would have brought it back to like the '80s, and teams would have started drafting running backs in the first round again. You know
Right.
what I mean? And made
See?
running backs relevant again.
You're right.
But
No, that would have been beat. The Texans and Niners would have been beat. probably. I mean, I know Deshaun Watson and Hopkins are a little more exciting, but even then, like the Texans' defense is kind of trash.
Yeah, they're garbage. They ranked
Um,
them today 31st, I think, their defense. Pretty sure they ranked the Texans defense 31st on Bleacher Report today.
the only thing worse than their defense, or I don't want to say their whole defense, because obviously they got some pretty stout defensive linemen, but
Yeah, but JJ Watt gets hurt every 2 seconds. I love the guy, but
he's a good player.
he gets hurt every 2 seconds.
Their old line is really soft too, which sucks for Watson. And now they go and trade Hopkins for a peanut butter and jelly and David Johnson.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's such a fucking dick move on Bill O'Brien's part.
Yeah. I don't think he's long for that place. This is his last year.
I can't believe he's still there.
Yeah. Yeah, with the talent he's had and he hasn't seen or realized, the potential, I should say, that
Yeah.
he's had. I mean, and getting rid of Clowney, I know he wasn't happy or whatever, but good Lord. I mean,
Yeah.
and then not paying, who was it? God damn. I'm blanking. Anyway. But anyway, let's get back to so you think your Niners are in a spot to repeat to go to the NFC Championship game? We won't say be NFC champions because obviously we'd be clashing there. But you think they have what it takes to stay at the top of the NFC? What
Yeah.
about the NFC West? I think everyone. I mean,
Everyone got better. Well,
yeah.
Seattle, I don't know about
I
Seattle.
think Arizona got better.
Well, they
Arizona's going to
had
be
to.
good.
They
Yeah,
had to. They got
their offense
Hopkins.
is going to be
Yeah.
nasty.
Yep. I think they're also weak at O line. I think that hurts them a little bit because then Kyler Murray's kind of running for his life, and he's gonna make plays sometimes though. And Arizona always plays San Fran tough every year, no matter how good they are compared to the other. They're just always a game that you can't trust. Well, no game in the NFC West nowadays is. They're all tough teams. I think the Rams are probably in the cellar this coming year.
Yeah,
Just because they lost a ton of people, and their
and aren't they
offensive
still
line
paying them
is.
too? Aren't they?
Yeah, some of the people they got rid of, they're still paying Cooks, who
Oh
went
shit.
to Houston. They replaced DeAndre Hopkins with Brandon Cooks, which is weird. But so the Rams got rid of Gurley, Cooks, Clay Matthews. I think that one safety, the kid Weddle, he's gone. I think he retired. And not that these guys were like insane contributors, but they're a big part of their team. So
Starters.
they got our boy Cam. Sucks. I want to see that
That's
kid
gonna
twice a year.
he's gonna be good. Now you can enjoy that because I had Devontae Freeman twice a year. Where's he now? He hasn't signed yet, has he?
I don't think he signed. I actually just looked him up last week during the draft. I looked him up to see because I saw a picture of Gurley like photoshopped with a running back jersey or an Atlanta jersey on, and I was like, oh yeah, I didn't even think about the fact that Gurley's there. And then
Yeah,
I realized Devontae got cut.
yeah,
So then I
that's
was even
crazy.
more surprised. Like, what the hell? So Devontae? No, I don't think he's signed yet.
Hey, maybe the Bucks will pick him up. They're struggling at running back. I know. I mean I love me some Dari Ogunbowale, and the only reason I know that name is obvious. I mean he's the only person that stopped and took a picture with the fat white guy
That's
that
why
was
that's
standing there. But when we went to the
that's one
game,
of the greatest things I've ever seen in my life, man. Just to see you turn into like a 9-year
a
old.
little kid
And all these dudes are just standing there, and these guys are Mike
walk right by
Evans,
me,
Godwin. They're all just walking right by you.
walk right by me. Yeah.
And then the old rookie, the old undrafted rookie stops for you.
Yeah, yeah, it was cool.
Give him 2 more
So
years of establishing himself, and he won't stop for you.
no, no. Well, it made me learn his name. So
I,
that's about it.
I like the way he plays.
Yeah, no, I like
Good
him.
receiving back.
Um, but I don't know. I don't know. Back to the Bucks. I don't. The thing that scares me is I love Evans. I love his attitude. Obviously, I love Godwin, but I don't know how Evans is gonna feel not being like Jameis tried to get him the ball at all costs.
There were
Like
games where he threw him the ball 19 times.
yeah, and it was obvious. Like hey, I'm going to Mike. I'm just gonna
Yeah.
throw it up to him. I don't think Brady's gonna do that, and I don't know how he's gonna handle. I'm not saying he's not the type of. He's a different type of receiver diva. And I watch. I mean, I love the Bucks. I watch them all the time. he doesn't like cry and complain and stuff. He gets hurt every play. Every play, if he runs more than 20 yards, he's hurt and he's tapping his head and he's out the next play.
Right.
Drives me crazy. But I don't know. I mean, we haven't seen it. I guess we haven't seen what's going to happen with sharing the ball because he was the guy, and in Brady's eyes, he's not. I don't think he's going to be. You know, I think it's going to be throwing it to Gronk, and
Godwin.
I think Godwin's going
Well,
to be.
he's gonna work real good with Godwin. I think
Hmm.
Godwin
Yeah,
runs all the routes that Brady likes to throw.
yeah.
And who
So
knows with Evans? I was surprised you said you liked Evans' attitude. I thought that was probably his biggest downfall.
no, I mean he's not the type of diva that's all about. He loves to win and he loves to get the ball, but he's not like I don't know, like
Brown, Antonio Brown.
yeah, somebody like that who was hilarious when he was saying he wanted to come to the Bucks and Bruce Arians is like, nope,
Oh,
we don't
really? I
need
didn't
that.
know he responded.
No, he said no. He said we are not interested.
That's
So
funny.
yeah, I loved that. Well, when he was having his drama in Oakland, Arians came out and said, yeah, that guy's a diva.
Oh no shit!
So
I didn't know
yeah,
that.
it's funny. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
I wonder if
So
I keep wondering if they're gonna try and move OJ. I thought OJ Howard would be gone last week during the draft.
yeah, so did I. That was a big rumor, but they wanted more than anyone was willing to give. They were asking too much.
Oh,
And then when they were up in the third round, I forgot what pick it was, but I know Jacksonville called them and offered Fournette, and they said no. So yeah, it's crazy. I'm like, why are you doing that?
what?
But yeah,
That's a
but they
great.
they picked up OJ Howard's fifth year option, which
I
doesn't really
saw that.
mean like he's going to be there, but it just gives the team that takes him another year if they guaranteed year for his services, which I always thought it was going to be New England, but we'll see.
I was shocked to
Uh,
see today actually reading the people who got picked up, and out of the top six picks, only the number one pick was picked up for a fifth year.
really,
Out of I think it was Garrett obviously got picked up for a fifth year.
yeah,
Then as Trubisky, he did not get picked up for his fifth.
he's done.
Solomon Thomas for the 49ers, he didn't get picked up. And then I think Fournette was the fourth pick overall that year. He didn't get picked up. And
Wow,
then the fifth was actually, I was so surprised when I saw this, was Corey Davis for Tennessee. I did
wow,
not remember him being picked fifth overall.
no, no, wow,
So
that's a
yeah,
shitty draft.
they talk about it all the time, like not every high first round pick is a guarantee.
Right? No,
But
not at
I don't
all.
remember the last time I saw 5 or 6 guys picked, 1 through 6,
Yeah,
where only one player really panned out. It's kind of surprising.
yeah.
I mean, Fournette.
Um,
I don't think Fournette got enough. I don't think Fournette got enough props,
no,
or not props, but he didn't get enough touches. The
no.
one year that they actually fed him, he was a beast, man.
He could be
I think
Henry
he could be. I think he could
easily,
definitely be a stud running back.
and not like he wouldn't have to carry a team. Like Derrick Henry carried the team on his back throughout the play. I mean, it was he beat the Derrick Henry beat the Patriots. You know, he was the
Beat
reason that they
beat
went to
the
the AFC
Ravens too.
Championship. Right, but I don't think you put Fournette on. If the Bucks would have picked him up, they wouldn't need him to do that. They
Huge
just need
upgrade.
him to get 4 yards of carry. That's it. Get three and a half, 4 yards of carry. That's all. That's all we want from you. We don't need you to carry the ball 25 times a game. You know, but
Right.
why wouldn't they do that? I don't know. Arians loves Ronald Jones, and I just don't see it. I don't. I mean, hopefully it turns it around, but we'll see.
It was hard to
Um,
tell last year when we were at the game. I thought that Ronald Jones had some decent runs against the 49ers, but I also thought the blocking was just incredible. From what I remember
yeah.
seeing, some of those runs he had up the middle,
Hmm.
he could have. There was at least space for 4 or 5 guys to run. With some
Yeah,
of the
and
blocking schemes that they had for running, like, I know they're not the greatest pass blocking O line, but some of the big runs I saw Ronald
I
Jones last year were definitely run blocking. Like,
right.
I don't know if it was
Yeah, they
something.
got some nasty guys. Like the dude from Hobart, he is nasty.
Yeah,
Um, I forgot his name off the top of my head, but I think they're going to be a lot better without Dotson at right tackle. He was a liability
Where'd he
at
go?
right tackle. They just let him go. He
He
didn't.
didn't get
Yeah,
signed.
yeah, yeah. He was no. He became a free agent. Didn't re-sign him. But yeah, this dude, this beast of a human that they've drafted. I hate. I
Worse.
mean,
Yeah.
yeah, drafting an O lineman. It's never a sexy thing, but dude, you have to
No,
do
it's
it.
you
They
got to.
had to. And they got Alex Cappa, who's a nasty kid at right guard. They have Jensen at center. Um, they're gonna get rid of their left tackle that they just signed. So they give him a big deal too. What the hell's his name? Jesus. Oh man, I don't even remember his name. But they just gave him a deal, but the only guaranteed money is this year, so he's gone.
Yeah.
He's not worth it.
Oh,
And then
Wirf's a good pick, man.
yeah, yeah,
I
it's a
honestly
big
thought the Niners were gonna possibly just take him because I wasn't sure where Joe Staley was gonna do. So I was all about Wirf's. I looked up a lot of his stuff. I read up a lot about him before the draft just to see what he was all about because you like you said, it's not sexy to pick a lineman, but when you pick a lineman that high,
yeah,
it's going to be a big
it's a
staple for your
stud.
team for the next decade. Like I
Hmm.
still remember when the Niners they had a weak O line. They took they took Anthony Davis in the top 15. Then they traded back in and got a guard, Ayupati.
Hmm.
So they took two linemen in the first round like 7 or 8 years ago, and everyone was like, "Oh, this is bullshit." They
Well,
didn't take any of the sexy picks, and then they ended up having the best O line for about 4 years in a row.
yeah, that's what you gotta do. Like look at Dallas, you know, when they had the nasty line, they're kind of falling apart now. But um,
Dallas, I don't want to talk too much about them because I can't stand them, but it really makes me laugh how they just can't. I can't say they. Jerry Jones, he cannot stay away from the shiny
the
object, man. Like
Crypt Keeper.
he's got to take CD
Yeah,
Lamb
but
there.
that was I would have taken him too.
I
Everyone knew
get it,
that was
but
coming. Oh,
I get it.
Donovan Smith's the left tackle. Ali
Oh,
Marpet's the
okay.
left guard. Ali Marpet from Hobart.
I just think I know CD Lamb is the sexy pick there, but it's like, dude, your defense is absolute baby shit. You lost all your secondary in the free agency, and honestly, I could not believe. But you know what, man? To his credit, they ended up landing Diggs from Alabama in the second round because I don't know why he got passed up so many times.
Yeah,
So they
I don't
still
know.
hit on some of the stuff they needed, but I'm just I get so sick of hearing about Dallas every year. I know they're America's team or whatever you call it, but it's just hard to.
What their defense? Yeah, like you said, though, their defense is piss poor. I'm trying to look at. So they had a story that I wanted to ask you about the who if they had to do over in the past, like I don't know how many years it was. Um, who would they who'd your team miss out on essentially?
Yeah,
Who would yours be for the Niners? I'm curious.
that they missed out on
Yeah,
in the
that they
draft. In the
should
draft,
that they could have drafted but didn't. Like, I mean, obviously, a lot of people are gonna say
man.
like Mahomes and Aaron Rodgers or something like that.
I was gonna say
But
Rodgers is probably the one they always talk about in terms of like past sports writers for the Niners and everything like that. They always talk about taking Rodgers over Smith, but Alex Smith. But I don't necessarily think that Aaron Rodgers would have done even close to what he did in Green Bay with the Niners team because the Niners he basically inherited a Super Bowl caliber team from Favre.
right,
Whereas with the Niners, they were rebuilding when Alex Smith got drafted, and I don't look at that as much of a miss as people might. Aaron Rodgers sure as shit would not have done in the first few years because he would have got plugged right in. He wouldn't have
right,
had 2 years to sit behind Favre or how many years he ended up sitting behind Favre,
right.
and then come into a loaded offense and a kind of like a high running machine of a team that was always in the thick of it no matter what for that good decade.
Hmm.
I'm actually surprised Rodgers hasn't won more, to be
Yeah.
honest.
They were saying during the draft. I think that was, and it's crazy they picked Love, but that's the first offensive player they've drafted in like the last I don't know how long it was. in the
in the
first round.
first round. Yeah.
Yeah,
So
that's
15
crazy.
straight years they have not gotten one
Yeah,
single position player for Rodgers.
that's. Are you kidding me?
But you know what else is funny though? They don't they don't draft good offensive linemen for him either.
No,
He's never had a
no.
great line.
Yeah, he's. I mean, he's a stud, and I still. One of the Bucks reporters that I follow, not the real one, not the ones that are on, the shitty network and all. I'm talking about the real Bucks reporters. He was
Yeah.
saying that Aaron Rodgers is the Bucks starting quarterback in 2 years from now.
Right?
I was like, okay, all right,
Dude, the internet running wild right now with that shit though. They said that the same thing that happened with Brady and the Niners this year is going to happen with Rodgers and the Niners next year. It's like Jesus Christ, man. It's like people are writing articles about.
anything,
I mean, literally, they're going. It's not one step ahead. It's like 7 steps ahead.
right,
Like to actually think that they even wanted to give up on Garoppolo after 1 year was so crazy to me. It's
right,
like I guess you had to be a 49ers fan to really watch and realize like the kid can play ball, man. He definitely makes some stupid throws, but he can play. For the most part, he can play. And he is definitely a reason why they made the Super Bowl. People like to always bash the quarterback. I don't know if it's because of the New England, if he's got like some sort of fucking, I don't know, shitty aura attached to him from being a Patriot for 5 years or what, but it's very weird to see a guy get shit on as hard as he has, and he's only played one full season. And in that one full season, the team went 13-3 and they made the Super Bowl and
right,
should have won. It's kind of wild, like to
yeah,
see a guy get shit on that hard. It's like I could understand it if you see Trubisky playing for 4 years and he just doesn't look like he's got it, or like even Matthew Stafford, who's had more than enough, time to really come
mhm.
into his own, and he's just not really doing it. Like he's a great fantasy quarterback if you need a guy, but like that shouldn't be a reason.
If you need a guy,
Yeah, you know. So it's kind of weird for them. I don't know why Garoppolo's a punching bag. I don't know. I don't understand it. All year I tried so hard not to be bothered by it, but there were days where I went down that rabbit hole of the Stephen A. Smiths and the fucking,
well,
Shannon Sharps and all those assholes that just talk more shit than they
skip,
talk
skip,
more.
skip.
It's so weird, man. It's so weird what sports commentary is now. It's like I
It's
understand
garbage.
everybody's gonna have bias, and I used to be a big proponent of ex players being the guys who are doing it because they know better than any of these fucking nerds that have never played before. However, they're starting to try and emulate Stephen A. Smith and Skip Bayless now, and so now they're becoming like, you know, bigger characters than some of these other douchebag guys that they got
Yeah.
out there, and it's like fuck, man, like now I don't even want to listen to, Deion Sanders anymore or fucking Michael Irvin anymore, even though I respect them as players and what they did in their career. It's
Yeah.
kind of sucks, man. Like I know that it kind of goes hand in hand with the UFC too, like where these guys are just talking shit to get the fights they want because they know that's pretty much how they're going to get the fight they want. I feel like the commentators are doing that as well, where they're just being as loud and fucking uh, hot take as possible just to get on a TV show and get that 1 4 minute clip on the internet that goes viral. And
Yeah.
oh, did you hear what Jason Williams said about Michael Jordan?
Mhm.
Fuck Jason Williams. Even if he went to Duke, fuck him, man. That guy's the biggest asshole, talking so much shit. Like if anybody, I mean, even when he got drafted by the Bulls, you'd think he'd have some kind of,
Yeah.
he gets like overly mad when people talk about Jordan and LeBron, and it was like, dude, nobody gets that mad, man. Like, especially a guy who was as good of a player as he was, even though his career got fucked up with that accident.
Yeah.
I don't know. I kind of digress. I just think that some of these sports commentators, I was starting to get happy that they were becoming more ex players than the Max Kellermans and Stephen A. Smiths.
Yeah. I think those guys need to stay in their lane though, because Max is great when it comes to boxing.
Yeah, but when does he ever talk about boxing? I mean,
That's what
boxing.
I'm saying. But when he was, and when he's on like Showtime or HBO, whatever one he's on,
Yeah,
he's great. He's great
right.
with boxing. Stay there. Like you don't see Teddy Atlas going talking about LeBron James. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Let's
Well,
stay in your fucking lane. And
do you
Stephen
know
A.
what
Smith
Stephen A. is good
should
at,
stay in NBA.
or what he
NBA.
should be good at?
NBA.
NBA.
Stephen A. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't know what his. I honest to God don't know what his
yeah.
specialty is. I
It's
know
the
he
NBA.
says he knows everybody.
Yeah, and
I'm
but
a
a
very
lot of
good
them
friend.
hate him. No, a lot of them hate him.
Well, because
Like,
he's so fucking polarizing with shit.
yeah, and what's his name? Durant hates him. That's funny. Um, and I think a lot of MMA guys do too. Now he's starting to say that after Cowboy came out and said that he
Oh,
wasn't ready, people don't think I'm so dumb now.
it
Okay.
was hard to watch, man.
Yeah.
I was so
Um,
fucking bummed when Cowboy said that. I was like, God damn it, dude! Don't give the guy anything.
yeah, no. But so talking about MMA, oh, real quick, I wanted to go back because I had that question for you. You didn't answer it though. Who would you have taken? Like, what's the one person like during the draft you're like, oh, they're gonna take him, and then they didn't take him. Like, 'cause I have two, and I'm sure you know who
You
they
know,
are, but
you know what's funny? This year, I had a huge one
uh,
with Jerry Judy from Alabama.
okay,
I was like, I don't think Jerry Judy's gonna make it to 13th overall, so I didn't get excited about it. But I watched the guy play the last few years, and I was a big fan. I thought he was just like all around legit. And then I thought his teammate Henry Ruggs was definitely draftable at 13. And then
hmm,
of course Oakland goes in or Las Vegas, which is
yeah,
really weird to see on the
yeah,
TV. So the Raiders went and took him, which I understand they're going for speed, and I thought he would have fit in with San Fran real well because of the speed with Debo and some of
yeah,
the running backs. So that would have been cool. I was more with the Alabama guys than CeeDee Lamb, but I also thought CeeDee Lamb was, I would have been totally fine with CeeDee Lamb too. It was probably the first year that I can ever remember where I was cool with multiple players.
yeah,
Like more than cool, like actually excited to know, hey, are any of those three going to be available at 13? That would be amazing.
and
And
they
then
didn't
two of
take
them are
any of them.
available. Two of them were available, and I was like, oh my God. I was literally chanting to Mitten. I was
Yeah,
going, Jerry, Jerry, Jerry.
uh
And then they're like, Javon Kinlaw. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to call you back, man.
yep,
And I like Kinlaw, and I think he's going to be a beast, but it's just
right,
like, it's a little bit of the sexy pick. The Niners never do that sexy pick where I would say not to lose track on what your question was, I would say that I also was really bummed 5 years ago or 6 years ago now when they had a trade in place to go up and pick Odell Beckham with the Giants. And for years, I was so fucking pissed that they didn't pull the trigger on that because, again, as obnoxious as he can be at times and stuff like that, his first 5 years were pretty awesome. And they would have
yeah,
been pretty cool to watch on the Niners because I watched so much of them in college. And
yeah,
they did so much research on him to the point where they were offering their first and another second just to move up to the Giants pick at 15 to pick him, and then they never pulled the trigger. I'd probably say, thinking off the top of my head, since I didn't know this question was coming up, I would say it's probably
hey man.
probably Beckham.
I have a couple of good questions for you this evening, but okay, mine real quick are real easy ones. They're ones that
Derwin.
obviously, yep, that's the number one. I mean, I
Yeah,
love Vita Vea. He's a man beast.
yeah,
He's Maui, he's everything. But dude, you had a chance to get Derwin James and you didn't,
I
and
know.
he's Derwin James, man.
Yeah,
And
he's
then
nice.
going back a little bit further is when they took OJ Howard and they could have got Dalvin Cook. I mean, both of them. Obviously, I love Florida State. You do too. And I was
Yeah,
hoping that I would get Florida State guys. And not just that though, but look, I was right. Like they're studs in the
yep,
NFL. Like, and what are the two
yeah,
positions that the Bucks have needed? Safety and running back.
the running back. Yep.
So I mean, those are my two, and they didn't have that. They had some. They had who the hell was it? Somebody old. I think it was like Vinny Testaverde that they said they shouldn't have taken or something like that back in the day. Or how about you shouldn't have drafted Bo Jackson? How about that? Because he never played for you. Maybe that one.
Right.
Somebody tweeted out today. Imagine if Bo Jackson did end up playing for the Bucks. Um, everyone that played Tacoma Bowl would have been Tampa Bay Buccaneers fans. I was like, dude, that's so true.
It is
It's
true.
hilarious.
It's
Or he
funny to
said,
think.
or he said he wouldn't play for him, or something. Something happened. I don't remember what it was, but anyway. All right, let's go to some MMA shit. So I was thinking about something, and when I saw that what the hell's his name was would only come back if they made a 175-pound division. Um, what the hell? Not damn it. Who was it that said this recently? He lost to St. Pierre, but really he beat St. Pierre. Who the hell was it?
Oh
Uh,
yeah. Wow, that's crazy. I can
yeah,
see his face and everything.
I know. Beard, everything. Anyway, he said he would only come back if there was a 175-pound division. So then that got me thinking, if they did 175,
Johnny Hendricks.
yeah, Johnny Hendricks, yep.
Yeah.
So if they did a 175, they would have to do a 165, right? This is something I've always thought they should do. So if
Mm.
they do 155, 165, 175, 185, obviously, who who are some matchups for the 165-pound division? Like I'm just thinking in my head, who are some sick matchups you can take? So you can take welterweight, could easily make 165, most of them, and then you have your lightweights. So you got like Khabib against any one of the studs at 170. So because I
Yeah.
was watching, I texted you yesterday when I was watching Tyron Woodley talking, and he doesn't really have a fight right now, and it makes sense for him if you think about it. He wanted to fight Colby, and Kobe won't fight him. Kobe wants $5 million, and that's just ridiculous. It's not going to happen. So Tyron's like he could fight Burns, but at the same time, he even said that doesn't. I'm in a lose there. If I win, I'm supposed to. If I lose, I just lost my spot and to a guy that I was supposed to beat. So who does he
Yeah.
fight? That's what I'm saying. If we open that 165, look at what we have. I mean, Gaethje against Tyron Woodley. Imagine that fight.
Nah, that'd be
You know what I mean? Like
that'd be a fucking shitstorm.
Tony, Tony against Masvidal.
Oh man, could you imagine that fight?
That's what I'm saying.
Aren't
Like
they both Mexicans?
there's so many fireworks there. I think, but that's Tyron even said it yesterday, man. He goes, he's just on a different level. That dude's crazy.
That's what
So
Woodley said.
yeah, he's like
Dude,
that
he
guy.
is crazy. He is crazy.
So I was talking. I was trying to get on there and not get on the live with him, but I texted and said the only logical fight for you is Masvidal, but they're boys, and he said he won't fight him unless it's a title fight. But dude, that's the only one for him because you're
Right.
not going to fight Usman. If Usman and Masvidal aren't going to fight and it's not going on, you got to fight him because that's what's going to get you the title shot.
Isn't he the number one contender?
Tyron is,
Yeah.
yeah.
Fuck.
So who's he going to fight? It's got to be Colby for the talking trash. Leon Edwards, it's not going to happen because Leon can't get out of London.
Yeah, I was gonna say, wasn't he scheduled to fight Leon though?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, before all this went down.
Mm-hmm. So,
Dude, once you
who's
get past Gilbert Burns, dude, it's just a bunch of fucking gatekeepers. Unless Chiesa, but like Chiesa feels like he's a good win away from being like a good candidate for that fight. But
yeah, no, I
you know,
think he gets destroyed by Tyron Woodley.
he's so fucking lanky though, and he's big for his division, Chiesa.
I
I
think
know he's skinnier, but I'm saying he's pretty big for his division.
yeah, but I don't think he can take that power.
And then is Nate ever gonna fight again? Robbie has no business fighting Woodley at this
But think
point.
about Nate at 165. You know what I mean?
Dude, Nate at
How about you do
any weight around him.
How about you do Connor Nate 3 for the 165-pound belt? If Connor beats him, Connor Khabib 3 or Connor Khabib 2 to unify the belts
Yeah,
or
the
for one
catch
of the
weight.
belts. No,
Oh, okay.
for one of them, for either one. But there's so much you could do, and Dana's so against doing a 165, and it's just stupid. I mean, how are you going to go 125, 135, 145, 155, 170, 185?
Yeah.
Boxing has like 5,002 divisions.
Right.
Why doesn't the UFC do it? And think about the
I
matchups, man.
What has he ever said about it? I know he's been
He said
talked to.
he'll never do it. He said he'll never do it. There's no way I'll
He
ever
just
do that.
doesn't want it to be convoluted, like just a
But
bunch of bullshit titles. Like it wouldn't be legit enough. Like it'd be convoluted.
but yet you're doing interim titles that you fucking take away for no reason because
Right.
somebody you looked at you wrong and all of a sudden he doesn't have the interim. Get the fuck out of here. That's not a reason.
Or a
That's not.
BMF or a BMF
Yeah, or
fucking
make
belt.
up a. or you make up a title because you don't have somebody to a title for a pay-per-view in New York City. He's an
Yeah.
idiot. He's an absolute moron when it comes to that stuff. But I mean, think about the fights you could have, and then you could have this whole champ thing. I mean, how many of those could you have? You know,
Right.
champion versus champion. You wanted to do it with Cejudo, and now he's not going to defend the 25. I mean, these guys can go 65, 55, you know,
Yep.
75. Then you can even have 75 and 85. You could have Israel fighting Woodley at 75.
Who who is Cejudo supposed to fight now? Cruz?
Yeah, yeah,
So
yeah.
Cruz hasn't fought in 2 years, and he's gonna
3 years.
fight.
I thought it was 3 years. Let me see. Let me look that up. I want to make
You
sure.
might be right.
I think his last
So
fight.
there's no flyweight champ then, right? Because the dude who beat Benavidez, that got
He didn't make
he
weight.
didn't make weight, right? So there's no champ there.
Right? Yeah, I think it's vacant because once that fight started, Cejudo didn't have the belt anymore, even though that he couldn't win the. It's so stupid.
That's so weird.
Yeah, Cruz is fighting Cejudo on the 9th, a week from today.
Oh, he is fighting that soon.
Yeah. Well,
Where the
that's
hell
what
is Cruz even ranked?
I don't even know if he is.
He's not. Maybe just because he hasn't fought.
His last fight was a loss to Cody Garbrandt, December 30th, 2016.
Holy shit! I mean, I remember that fight. I could not believe that's his last fight.
What?
That's nuts.
I mean, I've grown to like him because I like him as an analyst. And I like all the UFC guys that are analysts. To be honest with
Yeah.
you, I think they do a really good job. Which I was going to ask you about. Remind me, I have a question about analysts. But how is he fighting that? Like it, and how is Cejudo saying he's not ducking some guys?
I mean, Cejudo's a fucking character, man.
Yeah, but
He's kind of hard to even take seriously, even when he is talking seriously. Yeah, I mean, I would have liked to see him fight Peter Yan. I would have liked to see him fight. Wasn't he supposed to fight Aldo?
yeah, but
It's weird. So he had that Aldo booked. Obviously, the Brazil thing probably gets in the way of that, but like I would have liked to see him fight Peter Yan. Would fuck him up, I think.
so
And then
Marlon
Aldo,
Moraes, he worked Marlon Moraes. Aljamain Sterling's ranked 2. Petro Yan or Peter Yan, however you say that.
yeah, Peter Yan. Yeah, he's a
And then
monster.
4, yeah, he's a beast. He's the one that knocked out Uriah, right?
Yeah,
Yeah, bad.
he hits hard, man.
Then you have Corey
Sandhagen
Sandhagen.
is kind of fucking nice too.
Sandhagen's
I like the way he
4.
fights.
Where is so
So
he's
Cruz
not
is
even
probably
on.
not ranked. He's probably not ranked.
He's not ranked.
That's funny, man.
How the fuck is he fighting for the title? He's not ranked.
I must have been a shit talk thing, and due to the scenario that's going
Well,
on.
he said I know Cejudo did say that he wants to defend, but he wants a fight off. So he wants an easy fight, and he said just get Dominic Cruz. I know he said that. So, but
I mean,
okay. So John Jones says, "Hey, I want an easy fight. Just so go sign Tito Ortiz." Are they gonna do that? You know what I mean? Like, what the fuck?
I think Cruz is a better shot than Tito would.
Maybe, probably, yeah,
Oh God, Tito.
yeah. That was just it just popped in my head. But okay, back to the commentators. Whatever happened to Kenny Florian?
I think he got into. I think he got into gyms and
Well, I
has
know
been
he owns
helping.
his gym, but is
Yeah,
that why?
I thought it was, but maybe not.
Because I never see
I
him.
remember Brendan
I
Shaw bringing
love
him up.
him.
He was on one of those food truck diaries pretty recently,
Really.
and I watched like bits and pieces of it, and I didn't hear anything. But I can't take you seriously right now. That fucking hand is huge. Um, I I can't remember if he said anything, and I might not have finished the episode, but I thought that he was really focusing
On
on
his
doing
gyms.
training for his own gyms. Yeah,
Was it Nut Dong or I don't even know how you say that shit.
yeah, that
Is
sounds familiar. That sounds
yeah,
right.
it's something like that. Yeah, it's weird. All right, so then back to the 165-pound division. So Khabib, who knows? You gotta I mean, do you even book him against Tony? If say Tony, do you think Tony's going to beat Gaethje? Do you think
Yeah.
he's gonna beat him?
Yep.
Okay. Next question: do you think Tony's going to come out of there unscathed enough to fight Khabib in September?
Uh, that's tough. I don't know, man. It depends. If anybody, I'm worried about more is Gaethje in terms of coming out unscathed.
Well, he's going to
I
be, yeah,
think if he beats Gaethje the way I think he's going to, Gaethje's gonna be a fucking mess for months. I don't know. I don't know if he's
I
gonna
think
get into
a brawl with him.
It's so hard to say. He always catches a punch or two.
Yeah, and he can't catch
Ferguson,
Gaethje's
and
punch.
I don't know if he might not want to do that with him.
Mm-mm.
So it's kind of tough to say. I don't know, man. That's a really good question. September's gonna come a lot faster than we think with this quarantine shit.
Right.
And what
So,
he can't guarantee even September to get Khabib out of Russia. So
right, but I'm saying if he does and Tony wins, are you
yeah,
going to chance booking that again if Tony gets hurt in any way, or are you going to have Conor fight him, Khabib?
yeah, man. That's a good
Because who
shitty
does
situation to
because
be in.
who does Conor fight now? Because it was going to be
Yeah, because
Gaethje,
I thought it was gonna be Gaethje.
and Conor was down with for it supposedly. Who's he fight now? Unless it's Nate or
Let's say
Dana.
if Tony wins and Khabib can't get to America, Conor might fight Ferguson. That would
I
be
don't think he wants that.
fucking
I don't
crazy.
think he wants that fight.
He
I think that's the one fight he doesn't want. But
Conor?
yeah, yeah, I really do. I really think that's the
Damn.
one fight he doesn't want. But what was funny is Dana had an interview with Brett Okamoto, and he said that Usman and Masvidal is not going to happen right now. They're talking about it, but we also have something else for Masvidal. Is that Conor? Do you think?
Oh yeah, that could be another bad motherfucker belt
Right.
fight. Which I mean, that'd be a cool fight too. But I mean, only because they're two, fucking cool fighters to watch. But it doesn't do anything for rankings or belts or title shots or anything. It
But
sucks.
that's where I think Conor has to go. He's got to fight somebody at 170 where it's not going to hurt his chances to come back and fight Khabib when Khabib's ready. You know what I mean?
I honestly wonder if he'll even ever get a chance at fighting Khabib again.
I think he will.
Yeah.
I
I mean, I
think the
know that's what
UFC
he's in for. I know
Dana
if there's
wants
any
it.
fight he wants again, if there's a fight he ever wants again. But dude, the problem is too, we're dealing with a situation in the world that we've never dealt with before that might limit some of these things. If we ever have like a second wave of this shit, or
But
something come
that's what
along, these guys are just gonna keep
Fight
getting
Island.
older. Fight Island. So, did you hear Brendan Schaub calling it Fuck Island? Him and
No,
Rogan.
but that's
Him and
amazing.
Rogan call it Fuck Island, dude. It's fucking
That's
hilarious.
but when they said they're gonna have the the octagon on the beach, how does that make any sense? Like how like honestly, how are you gonna and not even getting into the shit I don't even want to talk about with sand going places and stuff like that. But how are you gonna get it level? How are you gonna keep it level? The walk up into the octagon, how are you gonna keep that clean? You know what I mean? It's just so stupid. I don't get that. Anyway, that's a little it
They
just
know what they're
bothers
doing
me
out
that stuff
there.
like that beaches.
They
Man,
built enough buildings in
as a
sand.
professional tenter, I know that how hard it is. Um, but anyway, so you're looking at the welterweight division. Tyron Woodley. I'm looking at the rankings. Colby's 2. He's 1. So that's obviously who. I mean, I don't understand why Colby wouldn't fight him. He's talking like he would, but was either one of them's lying or you know Colby is. What do you think? You think Colby's ducking him?
I wonder if Kobe's just in it for the specific fights he wants now, because I mean he kind of got humbled against Usman.
I don't think he lost that bad. I think that was a very close fight until
No, but I'm
it was.
saying to get your jaw broke is pretty
But
fucking humbling in the
he
fight
got it.
game.
What it was in the second round, and he still fought to the fourth. I mean,
No, he's an animal.
yeah.
He's an animal, and I gained respect for him in that fight, even though he lost. But I just think I think that if
Oh,
you get an injury like that it might humble you enough to say, okay, I made it this far by talking a gang of shit. Now I'm gonna start to pick my fights because I think I'm at that level of being able to do so. But $5 million seems like a weird
Yeah,
way of going
that's
about
out of
that. Like,
control.
if he wants his fights, he could get them because he could literally just talk shit about the guy he wants to
Yeah, but
fight, and he would get the fight.
He's talking shit about uh, Tyron, and then why don't you fight him? That's what I don't get. They're going back and forth and back and forth. Why don't you fight him then?
I think it'll come around. I
That's
think
the only
it's
one that makes
literally
sense
just
right
about
there.
money. Yeah,
Because
yeah,
if
he's putting a
Masvidal
big
is gonna
stick in
fight
the mud.
Usman, it's got to be Tyron against Colby. Because even Tyron against Leon doesn't make as much sense as Tyron against Colby. Just doesn't.
No,
So then Robert Whitaker's still ranked #1. How about that?
it's very weird.
Paulo Costa is 2.
But Cost is definitely the next guy up.
Yeah, he is. But then you got Ken Neer and Yoel Romero, then Till.
And I think Till will be if they keep the fights rolling somewhat regularly in the rest of this year. I think Till will find himself up there.
Okay.
He's been pretty vocal about wanting the title shot at some point.
Yeah.
He's a big win away from being in the talks, I think.
Well, who's he fighting? Or who do you put him against? Cannonier, Romero? Put him against Romero. Do they fought yet? They haven't fought yet.
No, he's Romero's the guy that he was always talking about. Like, I'll fight anybody but Romero. Like,
Well,
and he was
after
like trying to make it like a joke, but I think he's also kind of serious.
but
I think
maybe
Till could fight
Till.
Whitaker. I think Till and
Yeah,
Whitaker would be a good fight. I think there was rumblings about that fight going down, where
that
I
wouldn't
think
be a
they were
bad.
actually talking to each other.
And that would be
But
the next Whitaker.
Whitaker's taking time off, right? Like
Well, he's
he's
already had
burned out.
time. Yeah, but he said he was. I think that's why he's coming back now.
Oh, okay.
He
So
hasn't fought since he lost to Israel.
right, and he was saying he was completely burned out, and then there was a bunch of rumors going around that his kid might have been sick, like with cancer.
Yeah,
So
he said
everybody
that.
was like, "Yo, leave him alone." And then now it's coming out that that was not the case at all.
Yeah.
So now it's turning into okay, well, then what the hell was going on? And I think he honestly just put his tail between his legs and said, "Look, I'm just not in it right now. I need to fucking back
Changed.
away."
Yeah, he changed camps, everything. He changed his whole team. He says he's
Mm,
back now. We'll see.
I'm a big
So
fan of him. I
yeah,
like
you
him.
do Whitaker against Till, and then
That'd be cool.
Costa
And,
against Israel.
and Romero has no business ever fighting in a title fight again.
No, no.
Um, Cannonier is up. Not. I don't know if he's more than a gatekeeper, but he's pretty badass.
What about Romero against Gastelum?
I like Gaslam a lot. I think he's way better than Seven.
Yeah, but if he takes out Romero, I mean that puts him right back into it.
Gaslam?
Yeah,
Yeah, I mean that. I'd be a little worried about his lack of size against Romero, but he can fucking put hands on him. I bet.
yeah.
I love how Gaslam fights. He's kind of like he's not scared to get in there. If he was a little bit bigger, I think he'd be. I
Jacare's
think
not even ranked. Wow.
Jacare moved up to 205. I thought.
But he's fighting Uriah Hall. Yeah, he's 14 at 205. But he's fighting Uriah Hall next weekend.
Yeah, that's a great fight. Wait, Uriah? So Uriah's still at 185?
Yeah,
Oh,
he's
so
10.
Jacare moved down. Didn't Jacare just lose to 205? Didn't he get
I think
fucking
they
knocked
all
out?
did. Everyone that went to 205 lost.
Oh, for sure. Weidman and Rockhold.
And Rocco
Souza,
wants to come back now.
I feel like someone knocked Souza out. Like bad. Man, I can't remember.
Well, it wasn't it Gaslam? Did
Was it
Gaslam
Gas?
knock him out? Oh, Blauwitz.
Oh, yeah. That's who it was.
Yeah.
That's who it was.
Well, no, it was a decision.
It was?
Yeah, third round decision in
Who
November.
fucked him up? Someone fucked him up, I thought.
And then he had Weidman. He beat Weidman. He beat Hermanson.
Yeah, I remember beating Weidman. He was actually getting his ass whipped by Weidman. And then
He beat
he
beat
knocked out
Gastelum.
Weidman.
He beat Gastelum. His last loss, he lost to Blauwitz.
But
Then
Whitaker fucked him up, I bet. I'm pretty
he
sure.
lost to Hermanson, and Whitaker beat him in the second round, knocked him
Okay.
out.
That's what it was. So that was longer ago than I thought.
Yeah, it was a while ago. That was in 17.
Man.
All right, so then let's go to the favorite division. Um, who gets the shot against Jones?
Man,
Look
I'm
at,
really hoping Reyes gets another shot.
okay, but looking at the rankings, are you looking at the rankings too?
Yeah. Yep.
Okay. So how the hell could they give it to Blachowicz over Dominic Reyes, who arguably beat him,
Right.
or over Thiago Santos, who arguably who lost a split decision to him?
Wasn't Reyes split too?
No.
No way.
No, one had it 4-1.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, no, that wasn't
I thought
split.
that was split.
Nope,
That's
no, that was
crazy.
unanimous. I know that was
And
a
Thiago
fight to
got a
watch.
split on one leg.
Right. What happens with Thiago now?
Yeah, I don't know where he's at in terms of recovery, but
He's calling people out. He says he wants to fight Dominic Reyes for the interim title
that'd
because
be cool.
when that shit went down with Jones,
Oh, he
with
figured he was gonna be out.
yeah, thought he was going to be out, and he said he was calling out Reyes for interim title shot or if it got vacated. But then what do you do with Blachowicz? I
Yeah, I
mean,
mean, I know that they said that Blachowicz should get it just because of his win, but it's like, fuck, man,
why?
that's
That's an easy fight for Jones. That is an easy fight for
yeah.
Jones.
Blachowicz is kind of old school when it comes to 205. He's just like a
He's
heavy
like
hitter.
he's Glover. He's what Glover was a few years ago against Jones. That's exactly
Right.
what he is.
Yep.
And he just work him. He just wouldn't get hit by him.
Yeah,
I
that's
think I think
they can't
Reyes
make that fight.
or Santos. I'd like to see. I don't want to
Yeah.
see those two fight each other. Maybe Santos against Blachowicz. Give Reyes the shot, and then
Yep.
if Jones beats him, winner of Santos and Blachowicz.
Right.
But then Anthony Smith, if he looks really impressive against Glover, where's he go?
Yeah, I don't know if Glover's a good enough guy now. I mean, he's barely in the top 10. I think.
He's 8.
Man, they
Did he
really
win?
fuck.
Did he win his last 2?
Glover did.
I thought he did. It's
Another
hard.
guy I'm really bummed about is that I was hoping would be in the mix here in the top 5 is Johnny Walker. I thought he'd be in the top 5 by now. But
Oh,
he's moving
Corey
down.
Anderson. Corey Anderson fucked his world up.
Yeah, he lit him up.
Yeah, he's won his last 3. Glover
That's
did.
who Blachowicz beat, right? Corey Anderson.
Yeah, that's Glover's last loss was in July of 18 against Corey Anderson. Other than that, he's beaten Robertson, Kudalaba, and Krylov. So he's been fighting, you know, not the best competition, but he's won 3 in a row. In the
No
heavyweight
shit.
division, that gives you a title shot.
Is Gustafson gone too? Isn't he retired?
I don't know.
I thought he retired.
I think he was thinking about it after Anthony Smith put it on him, but I don't think he officially did. I think he was thinking about it at that moment, but I don't think I think he thought better of it. But yeah, that division, and then we have the heavyweights, which, god
Yeah.
damn,
According to Stipe, he's not going to be fighting for a while 'cause he's trying to
right? So then,
remain.
but then Dana said he doesn't want to do Rosenstrike against Ngannou for an interim.
That isn't that Saturday.
Yep.
Oh man, that fight's gonna be sick.
Hopefully, last
Uh,
time
we
Ngannou
did say
fought
that
was
about
Derek
Black
Lewis,
Beast. Yeah, that was horrible. I don't know.
but
I think Ngannou's improved. Rosenstrike's a fucking monster.
how
Um,
is how is Junior ranked number 4? How does that
yeah,
work? He lost
no,
his last 2 fights.
yeah, and he's gotten fucked up both fights. Like in terms of like beat up, not he looks off. Like he looks slower.
Well, now he's on that keto. He looks like he's going to 205. He's weighing 238 right now. So he said he looked cut and ripped. He said that the rumor was he's thinking about going down there, but I don't think that's a good idea.
Oh,
He'd
could you
just be
imagine if
another Glover.
Junior? Oh man, could you imagine if Junior could make 205? That'd be pretty interesting.
Against Bones? I don't think it would be. I think it would be Glover again. It's same type of thing. I don't think he's
Right.
fast enough. He's just a boxer.
Oh, he's 100% not fast enough, but
Right.
it would still be cool to see a former heavyweight put his fucking fist on
I think it would be like similar to
Jones' chin.
What Kane does. Did the like it would be the same exact thing to me as Kane against Dos Santos is as far as if Junior connects, yes, lights out. Like the first fight on Fox. The first
Right.
Fox main event that lasted 30 seconds.
Behind the
Then
ear.
yeah, but then I don't the other fights where
He
Kane
got the
just
brakes beat off
circles
him.
around him and just he couldn't do anything. But that's why the heavyweight division, man, it freaks me out because just watching those fights, like I love Alistair obviously, and he was doing all he had to do against Rosenstrike, and then all of a
Just
sudden,
not get hit at the end. He had
yeah,
the fight.
all of a sudden that just comes out of nowhere, and everyone's saying, "Oh, Rosenstrike's got this power, got this power." Yeah, but Francis is on another level. Ngannou, that's I've never seen
Yeah.
anything like that. That's like Mike
No.
Tyson punch out type stuff.
Yeah, that's the guy at the end
That's
that
a
he
star
fought.
punch. You know what I mean? Uh, but then DC, if Stipe is not going to fight, I think DC's going to peace. I mean, he's older than I
You're not that old.
am.
Yeah, Cormier. I think it sucks because he's he wants that rubber match with Stipe, but I don't think he's gonna get it anytime soon. And I'm pretty sure he could have been mostly joking, but I'm pretty sure he has no desire to fight Ngannou.
No, he does. He's dead serious. No,
Oh,
he's
okay.
yeah.
Curtis
Rogan said that. No,
Curtis Blades would be the most boring wrestling match of all time.
and I think he would. I think he would work him.
Well, he's definitely a better wrestler than Blades. But I mean, that's what Blades brings to the table. And then
Yeah,
once you get past that, I just don't see a guy.
it's not. There's
Only
nothing.
thing is if Rosenstrike ends up with an impressive victory over Ngannou, then you could push him up there. But even then, I don't think that gets Cormier out of bed.
No.
So yeah, I
And
think he just sits kind of. This pandemic might have forced him into retirement.
yeah, it's unfortunate. Done it to a lot of people. All right, man. Well, it's already pretty goddamn late.
Did you have what other questions did you have for me?
Well, that was the big one. If we got a 165 division, who are some of the matchups? That was what I was trying to think of the other day.
That's definitely right in between the thick of the best fighters.
Right, because then you do 175 and you do 165, so you pretty much take the welterweight division, and it could go both ways.
Yeah, it'd be pretty crazy.
So you could have Robert Whitaker against Masvidal,
Right.
which Masvidal was getting beat up at middleweight before. Well,
Yep.
not beat up, but he wasn't. No, he was a lightweight, wasn't he?
Yeah.
Masvidal was lightweight. Yeah, that's
Yeah,
right.
when he was at Strikeforce too, I remember he fought my boy KJ Noons. Fucked his ass up.
That's the other thing too. When I was with all this, the UFC showing like a bunch of old shit. They're showing like Strikeforce, Pride stuff. Like when they weren't that good when they bought until they bought Pride and Strikeforce.
You're
Think
right.
about think about all the guys that came over.
I know.
Before then, you had like Matt Hughes. St. Pierre was at
Yep.
UFC. You
Hmm.
had Rich Franklin,
Yep.
which were great guys. You had Tim Sylvia and Arlovsky like five
Chuck,
times a year were fighting. Yeah,
Chuck and
Chuck Liddell.
Tito, and
Yeah, but
right.
other than that, who? I mean, you had no
Well, they
depth.
bought Pride. Is that what Rampage came over from? Pride, right?
Yep, and Dan Henderson and
Hendo.
Vanderlei
Yep. So
and
those three right there at the time were the top.
Shogun at the time. He was
Yes. So four light heavyweights right off the bat that are
right,
fucking top five out
right,
of those four. Which
yeah,
and think about it too. Light heavyweight was the shit back then.
right,
That only made it even bigger
right,
because they already had Liddell and they had Randy and they had Tito, and then they bring over four killers from Pride.
right. That's what I'm saying, dude.
Yeah,
And
yeah, that
then
was kick ass. Then They brought over, and then Strikeforce was like Woodley and Rockhold and
Diaz brothers, Cormier, Alistair,
Barnett.
Yep, Bigfoot, all those guys.
Right.
Kane was Kane there?
I don't remember Kane being there.
He was
I
somewhere.
thought Kane was like up and coming, and
where did he fight first?
I remember he put himself on the map when he beat Congo.
What they said about him was what they said about him was they couldn't find him a fight, and that's when they signed him. When they decided when Dana said he was Bodog. He was Strikeforce.
No shit, I don't remember watching.
His first fight was in 2006 in Strikeforce. Was his first fight, and then he fought. And then he fought with Bodog. Remember Bodog?
I forgot about Bodog. Holy crap! A couple other guys. Wasn't Tim Kennedy from Strikeforce? And
yep, he was.
I loved that guy.
Yeah.
Sure. Brian Stan was also a Strikeforce?
He was WEC.
Oh, that's okay.
I'm pretty sure.
And then when you get WEC, you had Faber, Aldo,
Cruz,
Bendo,
Cruz,
Pettis, Dominic Cruz. There was a lot of killers over there. Mike Brown was the one that Faber could never beat.
Was Chael in?
I don't remember Chael. I don't remember where Chael came from.
He came from one of them. I thought he was WEC. He's a better commentator than he ever was a fighter. And I think he was a good fighter. But
he was a good.
I love him as a commentator. No, he was Bodog.
He was Bodog.
And then he was all over the place actually. Jesus. Yeah, he was everywhere. But he fought in Bodog and then UFC and then Bodog and then UFC again.
Oh, by the way, when you were talking about watching old fights,
WEC, he was WEC. Sorry,
he was. I forgot that they even went that high.
Yeah, that's where Brian Stan would have been champ there.
205. Oh, okay.
Or no, he might have been 185. I don't remember.
Oh yeah, he probably was because that's where he fought Anderson.
Yeah.
I watched Huerta versus Clay Guida.
Oh man,
dude, that is one of the best fights of all time. You got to watch that fight if you could find it on the ESPN.
They were saying Chael had it on his page the other day. Who was the most violent fight that you've ever seen? And nobody said it, and I commented.
BJ versus Joe Daddy.
Joe Stevenson, that was pretty bad.
Remember how bloody he was, dude?
That's the most gruesome. But my violent is
Korean Zombie versus Garcia. Remember that one?
Yeah, it was nasty. But it was
sick.
Diego against Gilbert.
Oh, dude, yeah.
That was
Gilbert pieced them up for a while, and then all of a sudden
they were just freaking.
Yeah, that was awesome. Diego's had a couple of those fights.
Then him against Clay Guida, when they were just bombing at each other, Diego and Clay.
Yeah, Diego's had probably a handful of those kind of fights.
That's probably why he's not all there. When he's some of his quotes recently.
When he fought Chiesa a couple months ago, he looked so physically inferior. It was bad. And then they had some I think he was like a Chinese actor that was acting like a coach.
Oh, his one corner man?
Yeah, he's awful.
Yeah. Yeah, it was bad.
And when former fighters and current fighters are talking about what the hell is he doing?
Yeah.
That's just not good. I think people are worried about him. Then he went and motherfucked the shit out of Jackson Wink.
Well, and John Jones. When he had that John Jones thing, he went off on John.
Holy shit.
It was kind of funny, to be honest with you, but it's still a little...
It's just weird that he trashed the shit out of Cowboy, however long ago about leaving. Right. And then within months, he's trashing him even worse than Cerrone.
Doing his Zen...
the guy's entertaining his shit.
He changes a lot, that's for damn sure. And then they showed a flashback of... He was the first winner, right? Season 1 of Tough. Which is coming back now.
It is?
Back. Yeah.
Wait, so wasn't there 2 winners that year?
Yeah.
So it was Diego and Rashad. Was it? Rashad, I think. Rashad was a heavyweight when he won.
Yeah, that's crazy. season 1. Yeah, I know Diego won. Yeah, there was 2 because it was Chuck against Randy, right?
Yeah. Or was that Forrest and what's his nuts?
Oh yeah, 4. Yeah.
That was so I think Rashad won the second year, and he was a heavyweight.
Yep. And then the third year was
I don't know if they kept.
Tito against Shamrock. It was season
Yeah, I'm
3
forgetting who the people were in that year. The
that
Florian?
won.
No, Florian lost at the end.
Kenny Florian was in season 1, wasn't
Yeah, I think he was one.
he? Kendall Grove, right?
Oh yeah, that was Tito's guy. That's right.
Yeah.
He signed him to punishment.
Yep. And yeah, I don't know. There's been some really good seasons of that, but then there's been some like I don't know. I guess the contender. I haven't really watched that many of Dana White's contender series, but I know a lot of fighters are coming out of there too. So I might give that a look.
Yeah, it might be. I know. I only watched one because someone had given me a heads up that they had a tough kid in there, and it was Sugar Sean actually. And
Oh really?
I actually watched his finale, and it was crazy. He knocked the dude out bad. There's not tons of knockouts on that thing either. Usually,
Yeah, Rashad won season 2, and then Kendall Grove won season 1. I mean, yeah, season 3.
that's crazy.
But Tito smoked Shamrock's team. His team just smoked them. And dude,
Right.
they showed. I forgot about this. They showed. They said the most gangster move ever in the Ultimate Fighter history, and then it was BJ Penn against Jens Pulver, and Jens won the coin toss, and he said, "I'll pick first fight." So BJ got first pick, and he goes, "Okay," and he's doing his like BJ like wink thing, or he's like talking. He's got that twitch. He's
Yeah.
going, "Okay, I want to know whoever doesn't want to be on Team Jens and wants to roll with me, and no matter what doesn't want to be with Team Jens, raise your hand." And 10 dudes raised their hand.
Oh fuck, man.
And then 2 color-eyed Jens is looking at it. He's like, "Oh fuck, he just played the shit out of me."
Dude.
It was gangster. I love that. BJ was the man.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's not much more fucking badass back in the day than BJ
Yeah. Oh, now he's doing shit that's weird.
getting his ass whooped in the streets.
Yeah. Matt Serra. Oh, that's when Matt Serra was season 4 against Shoney
After he
Cutter.
beat GSP.
No, that's what made him beat GSP.
Oh,
That
he
was
fought him after.
Yeah, that was the comeback. That was the comeback season. So they had to win that, and then they got a shot um at the winners or the champions. So GSP and Anderson fought. Who the hell did Anderson fight after that? Ultimate season 4, the comebacks. It was Couture and GSP were coaches. Rich Franklin guest coach. Matt Hughes, Liddell guest coach. What the hell? Travis Luter, wasn't it? Didn't he fight?
Oh yeah.
Didn't he end up fighting Anderson and like
Yep.
just laid on his back the whole time?
No, that was goddamn. What was his name?
Who won?
Talis Latis. Talis
Travis Luter
Latis.
won.
Yeah, Latis was the guy who laid on his back at the Anderson. It was awful.
Uh, well, he won, and then yeah, after that, I don't even remember. When was Rampage? 5.
Which
We're
one
getting
with
off beat now.
you're talking about Rampage versus Rashad?
Yeah, that
That was
was
like season 10, I think.
Oh, Nate won season 5,
Oh, okay.
and that was with BJ Penn. Yeah. All right, man. Well, we're getting into Ultimate Fighter. They haven't announced. So who would be good coaches now? That's a pretty sick one. What about Masvidal and Colby coaches?
Oh, that'd be amazing.
That'd be where it's at right
That'd
there.
be amazing. I could see Cejudo talking his way into that just because he's a fucking cornball.
Yeah,
He
but that's
talks so much shit, but I don't know who he'd do it with
right.
unless they brought Jan in or
Yeah, I don't see that happening. No, because nobody else. There's nobody with star power there in that division, in either one of those divisions.
I mean if you had if you had a guarantee of anybody you wanted, obviously you'd want Connor and Khabib.
Yeah.
That'd be the ultimate. Um, it'd be cool to see, like you were kind of saying, it'd be cool to see like Usman and Masvidal do it.
No, I'd like Colby and Masvidal because they're
Well,
best
there'd be a
friends
lot
and
more.
it'd
Yeah.
be a lot of drama going back and forth.
Yep.
That's why I thought I just thought that would make it interesting.
So how are they going to do this? This is going to be on the island as well?
I have no idea. Dana just said the Ultimate Fighter is coming back.
Mm.
Yeah, that's crazy. Well, I mean, it would make sense to do it there if that's what they're going to do.
Yeah, it's such a bummer. This whole thing, man. Just the way it's destroyed. Like certain
Yeah.
sports and everything. It's crazy.
Tough will return for a 28th. That's August 2018. 3 days ago, cast announced for new season of The Ultimate Fighter.
The cast is already announced for it?
Yeah, no, that doesn't make sense.
Hmm.
What the hell? That's some old shit. It's in Russian. Never trust Russian sites. Should have got off. Yeah, and then do you think they're gonna even have a baseball season?
Well, since the season is 11 months long, yeah, they'll figure out a way to do it.
They're gonna
I
have
think if
to.
any sport's if any sport's gonna get some play, it's definitely baseball. I think they're gonna cram the NBA down our throats sometime in June or July. Just in my opinion, I think they're gonna do some kind of. I don't know how they could do an end of a season. I was hearing that in the beginning. I was hearing they would only do playoffs for the NBA
Wow.
and take them at whatever standings they're at right now. But I also heard that there's some teams that are so close that they would actually give them. I want to say it was like 2 weeks of a final, final 10 to 12 games to make any kind of run, I think, and then they would do playoffs, and I don't think the playoffs would be shortened. Honestly, I think they were going to just jump right in, but I think because of the popularity. My only other thing too is with basketball, it seemed like the majority of athletes that caught COVID were in the NBA,
Right.
or at least those were the ones that were reported.
Yeah.
So I don't know what that means either. And then there's players that don't even want to play with their teammates because, like that Gobert guy who was like one of the first guys who remember he touched all the mics on purpose to be an asshole. Then he's one of the guys that came down with it. And then Donovan Mitchell, his teammate, publicly was like, "I'll never forgive that guy. Like, I'm not cool with that guy. I don't want to be around him. I'm not cool with what happened." So there's like a whole bunch of like weird little things that are going on. Like I said, I think a lot of their players contracted it, but I don't think anybody had anything serious. They just had it and they're good to go now.
Yeah.
I don't know what that means though. I don't know. I think it's so crazy, man. Like, when do you even start doing it? Are you even gonna be able to have people in the arenas,
No, you
in the
can't.
stadiums? Like,
You can't. Hey,
what
man.
happens with home court advantage is gone? You're
Yeah.
trying to get a seating, home court advantage is gone.
Right.
It would be kind of cool to see it in football, in my opinion, because it'd be cool to see, like, I almost feel like you could go chalk on some of the teams then, like, because there would be no home field.
Yeah.
It would just be, one team beats up the other, and it's, they don't have to worry about crowd noise and
That'd be pretty funny.
no huddle and all that bullshit.
It would suck for Las Vegas and LA, the new stadiums.
Or those
Opening.
domes who really benefit from it, like New
Right.
Orleans and,
Right.
and Seattle.
No, I'm saying money wise, they're not getting that money for the
Oh,
new. I mean, just opening the new joints. Oh, I have one more quick one before we go because I forgot
yeah.
about this and I just saw it.
Hmm.
Heavyweight division. Anthony Rumble Johnson gets a top 10 opponent when he comes in. He's obviously going to be a heavyweight.
Yep.
What about the winner of Walt Harris Alistair?
Yeah.
You think that's a good one?
Yeah, I would even think they would have put him even further up against
Really?
somebody like.
Against what?
Yeah, only because he's older. He hasn't fought in a while. You're
Yeah, but
probably
then
right. I think
Rosenstruck's fighting Ngannou. Derek Lewis, I don't know who he's fighting. Put him against Derek?
I
But
don't
then you
know. That's
got Junior Dos Santos, and he looks like he's
Derek.
piecing to
Derek
205.
seems like he's gonna be the gatekeeper, unfortunately.
Volkov? Give him Volkov at 7?
Yeah, he's gonna catch it just like he caught the last one from Derek Lewis.
That's
And
amazing.
I would not want to fight that dude. I would not want to get in the ring with Rumble, man.
No, not the way
No,
he's looking.
nah.
Uh-uh. That CBD has been treating him right. And not even CBD.
He's lost a ton of weight though. I got to give him credit. He's definitely gotten rid of some of that bloating he had going.
No, when I
There's
looked
a
at
couple
him,
minutes where he looked
no,
like
he
he
looked
was on all the
jacked.
steroids.
Yeah, that's what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
I just meant he looked leaner the last pictures I seen him.
Really?
Yeah, a little bit, like better.
Dude,
Before he looked like he had retained all the water in his
yeah,
house.
I'm looking at 285-pound Anthony Johnson wants UFC heavyweight comeback. Dude, he looks
When
so
is that dated?
big.
How far
Oh man, I don't know. I'll click
back
on it
was
and
that?
see.
Like New Year or even into the
Oh
late
no,
fall?
it was 2018. Yeah, so
Oh,
no, that's God damn, he's huge though. That is so many steroids in him.
he's so big.
Wow.
And just the fact he's that big, and you know how hard he hits.
Yeah, if you're putting more, oh my God, like,
You put
if
more speed and muscle into a punch like that. Like,
he's gonna kill somebody.
oh, what about Tyson? Did you read that?
No. Oh,
Tyson's
the
making a comeback,
Mike
possibly.
Tyson?
Mike
Yeah.
Tyson. Yep.
Yeah, I didn't think it was real.
Did you see some of the footage of him like training?
No.
The guy is still fast as hell. I mean, I know he's 50 something, but it's really incredible to watch like a guy like him. He's just such an animal.
Dude, I don't. I
It's
just wanna.
impressive.
Yeah, but come on, who's he gonna fight?
Well, I think he claimed that on one of his podcasts that he wanted to fight for charity because he wanted to get back in there. He wanted to get in shape, not just for boxing, but for his own personal gain. And that's why he brought charity into it because he's like, I don't need the money. I'm doing well in my businesses now,
Yeah,
but I
the
really,
weed.
yeah, the weed business is huge for him. But he was just saying something along the lines of, I would love to get back into the ring and do some fighting and see where it goes, but it would be pretty much all for charity. And then they showed him just doing some like head movement training, and then like head movement moving into just like counter punches and overhands and hooks, and you're like, oh my god, he's so fucking violent. Like he's just a
I
pit.
would. Yeah, man.
Like he was
I
showing. Do you ever see that meme of him? Just he was kind of like he was showing this guy like one of his fakes in his hooks.
well,
It
he
was
did
like
it with Francis Ngannou. He
maybe
showed him.
that's what it was. It
Yeah,
might have
he
been.
was
I
doing.
can't remember who he was talking to,
Yeah,
dude.
and he was like doing like that. Yeah, and he was like doing a combo, and then he comes in.
It
Yeah,
was fast and powerful enough just in a meme to be like, holy shit,
yeah.
that guy's a freak, man. Imagine if he didn't blow his career. Yeah, I don't see anybody that Derek Lewis is supposed to fight. That sucks.
Maybe that's it. Maybe that's the answer.
I would like that fight. I don't think that's too far up for Johnson. I mean, that would be a great fight.
53-year-old Mike Tyson.
Yeah.
God damn. That would break all the pay-per-view records.
If he fought again.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I just wonder if they could get anybody that even has remotely a name. Probably not, but
No. All right, man. Well, we
no,
are we are an hour and a half in, so
that's cool. It was good to just get back on, dude. It's been a while.
yes, sir. And yeah, we should do it a little bit more regularly. And, even talk shit about sports, even though there's no sports coming. Although next week starts the UFC, so we'll be talking about a lot of UFC.
That'd be
So
cool.
they got three 3 events next week. Fucking crazy.
That is so weird. How you said
Saturday,
they're all in the same
Wednesday,
place?
Saturday. Yeah, they're all in Jacksonville.
Oh, okay.
Saturday, Wednesday, and then the following Saturday on the 16th. So the 9th, the 13th, the 16th.
Do you know what the main event are for the other two?
Yes, I do. The one is Anthony Smith and Glover. Um, and then the one is Alistair and um, what the hell's his name? Um, we just talked about him. Who the hell is Alistair fighting? Walt Harris? Is
Yeah.
that it?
Yep.
So here, yeah, we got Ferguson. Yeah, those are the main cards. So on the 9th, we'll go over it real quick.
Okay.
9th, we got main card. Or you can even look at the prelims for this card.
It's ridiculous. Cerrone's in the
Uriah Hall, Jacare are on
That's
the
great.
prelims. Carlo Esparza against Michelle Watterson. Alexei Olenek against Fabricio Verdum. Anthony Pettis against Cowboy. That's your fucking prelims.
That's insane.
Main card, Greg Hardy against Jorgen De Castro, which is
Why do they keep putting that dude on the main card?
makes me puke. I hope he gets knocked out. Anyway,
He's never gonna until he fights a bigger fighter, man. He's just
Jeremy Stevens against Calvin Cater.
I love
Nasty,
that fight. People are talking so
nasty
much shit about Stevens. I'm like, dude, that guy hits so hard.
nasty fight. And then Ngannou against Rosenstrike.
Yep.
Cejudo against Cruz. Ferguson Gaethje. Sick card.
That's an amazing card.
That's ridiculous. Then we just digest that. We go to the 13th.
That's so random. It's on a Wednesday. I wonder.
Yeah, they have to get them in to get that money from ESPN. Prelims on that one. Brian Kelleher against Hunter Azure. Don't know who that is. Sarah Moras against Sahira Eubanks. Michael Johnson against Tiago Moises. Felipe Lins against Andrei Arlovsky. So they must be trying to bring this Felipe Lins in to relevance.
Yeah.
Then the main card is Carl Robertson against Marvin Vittori. Ray Borg against Ricky Simon. Simone. Is it Simone? Simon.
Yeah.
Alexander Hernandez against Drew Dober. Ben Rothwell against Oven St. Pruitt heavyweight.
Oh, they both.
St. Pruitt's going up. And then Anthony.
He's a big dude, man. I'd love to see him fight a heavyweight. Yeah.
Anthony Smith against Glover. So that's a nice little Wednesday card for you.
Nice.
And then the following Saturday, go prelims. Rodrigo Ferreira against Deontay Mayes. Nate Landwehr against Darren Elkins. Courtney Casey against Mauro Romero Barella. Mike Davis against Gija Chikadze. And then Anthony Hernandez against Kevin Holland. Main card, Song Yadong against Marlon Vera.
Now you're just making up shit.
No. Eric Anders against Christoph Jotko. Dan Ige against Edson. Well, I like that one. Dan Ige against Edson Barbosa.
Oh, okay. Your boy.
And you got Claudia Gadeya against Angela Hill.
Oh, my girl.
Dude, Rogan just said on his podcast, Angela Hill, her grandfather's Benny Hill.
Oh, really?
That's the first dude to ever get abducted or supposedly get abducted by aliens.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Of course, Rogan knows that shit.
And then Alistair against Walt Harris is the main event. So, the next two cards are, they're pretty good, couple of good fights, but this card coming up, man, that's out of bounds.
Yeah, it's insane. So I can't wait for that.
All right, man. Well, maybe we'll do this before the card or something like that to get some predictions going, or even just write them out, something, figure it out.
Yeah, and I just wanted to say real quick about the Niners that I wanted to say before was, even though their draft wasn't exactly what people were hoping for in terms of the sexy pick.
Bye-bye.
Oh, nice.
Bye-bye, Jameis.
I was going to say, you could sell that. Look at.
Is that a Rampage?
Yes, sir.
Oh, my God.
I was going to say, them putting together a third a 5th-round pick this year and a 3rd-round pick next year for Trent Williams. Woo, that was nice.
It's pretty good.
That was probably the best part of the whole draft.
My draft was done before when we got Gronk. And my daughter gets to be excited because she got to see him on Masked Singer, so she knows who he is. So she's really
that's
excited
cool.
now. So yeah.
Oh, you gotta get her a jersey or something.
Yeah, well, maybe I'll get her a white tiger, costume, because that's who he was in the Masked Singer.
Is he a tiger?
Yeah, he was awful. He was so bad, and I could tell. I knew it was him right away too. It was bad.
My mom watches it and she goes, "Did you see Gronk?" And I was like, "Where?" And she watches it and she told me, and I was like, "No."
Yeah,
it's such a weird show.
My daughters are really into it. They love it.
I'm not mad at the whole fact that it exists. I mean, it's it's a decent premise. It's just I don't like waiting to figure out who the fuck is who. Like
I like guessing. I'm pretty good at guessing. I've got some nasty ones. And Abby,
some of the guesses by the judges, they should be kicked off TV.
They're not real. They're not real.
It's so bad.
They're fake.
It's so bad.
Yeah, they're fake. All right, man.
All right, buddy.
I will talk to you. Stay
Sounds
healthy.
Good. You as well, bro. Stay safe.
See ya.
See you, man.